The first time they laughed at him, he thought it was just a joke. College was supposed to be a fresh start, a place where everyone was mature, where people respected each other. But in the first 10 seconds of that classroom, when his name was called and the whispering started, he felt something sink deep inside his chest. The kind of feeling that tells you this place might break you if you are not careful. They mocked his clothes, his accent, the way he spoke softly, the way he avoided eye contact. And what hurt more than the laughter was the silence of everyone else. No one stopped them. But stay with this story, because what happened next changed everything, and by the end, you'll understand how one moment of courage can rewrite an entire life. Before we go any further, if stories like this move you, if you believe real strength comes from standing up for what's right, take 1 second and like this video and subscribe to Mindforge. It helps this channel grow, and it helps more people hear stories that matter. Now let's continue. His name was Daniel. He didn't try to impress anyone. He came to college with one goal only. His parents worked long hours. College was not just education for him, it was hope. They sensed silence. And once they find it, they push harder every day. It started with jokes, then whispers, then open insults. They would imitate his voice, laugh when he answered questions. Daniel tried to ignore it. He told himself it would stop. It never did. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. His confidence faded. He stopped raising his hand. He sat at the back. He arrived late and left early. Every morning before class, his stomach tightened. He felt invisible and exposed at the same time. And the worst part was that the teacher, Professor Harris, seemed distant, calm, professional, silent. Daniel believed what many students believe. One afternoon, things crossed a line. During a presentation, Daniel stood in front of the class, hands shaking, voice low. Halfway through his first sentence, someone laughed loudly. Another followed. A cruel comment echoed across the room. Someone mimicked him perfectly. The class erupted. Daniel froze. His face burned. His mind went blank. He stood there, broken, holding papers that suddenly felt heavier than bricks. And that's when Professor Harris stood up. The room fell quiet, not because they respected Daniel, but because they were confused. The professor walked slowly to the front, took the papers from Daniel's hands, and asked him to sit down. Just calm. Then he turned to the class and said something no one expected. He said, "What you just did tells me more about you than it does about him." He paused. Let the words sink in. About how standing in front of others and speaking despite fear is not weakness, it's strength. He spoke about how intelligence means nothing without character. And then he did something powerful. He called the bullies by name, one by one. Not to humiliate them, but to hold them accountable. He explained that college is not a playground. It's a place where future leaders are shaped. And leaders don't laugh when someone is brave enough to try. He said, "If you think cruelty makes you strong, you are deeply mistaken." That moment changed the air in the room. The laughter was gone. For the first time, Daniel wasn't alone. After class, Professor Harris stopped Daniel at the door. "Don't let loud people define your worth." That sentence stayed with Daniel. Permission to believe in himself. The bullying didn't stop overnight, but it weakened. The comments became quieter. Slowly, his voice steadied. He wasn't fearless, but he was no longer broken. The teacher didn't just stop bullies. He showed Daniel that dignity does not come from approval. Years later, Daniel stood on another stage. He told his story. He talked about silence, about pain, and about one teacher who chose courage over comfort. Professor Harris sat in the audience, eyes filled with pride. That day, Daniel understood something important. Bullies only win when good people stay quiet. This is why stories like this exist on Mindforge. Because somewhere, someone is watching this right now, and they need to hear this. Your worth is not decided by the loudest voice in the room. It's decided by how you rise after being pushed down. If this story touched you, if it reminded you of your own college days, share this video. Let it reach someone who needs strength today. And tell us in the comments, have you ever seen a moment where one person stood up and changed everything? Your words might inspire someone more than you realize. Remember, courage is contagious. And sometimes all it takes is one teacher, one voice, one moment to change a life forever.